Hey folks, what's going on? Wanted to get right into this video. Everyone's secretly in competition with you. After all, this is America, and it is the most competitive place on the planet. We view everything as a competition. Who has the fullest head of hair? Who has the biggest cock? Who has the nicest ass? Who has the greatest smile? Who has the best sense of humor? Who's the toughest? Who's the strongest? Who's got the most going on? Does that sound like a competition? Yeah, it is. My advice is pull back from the competition. Get out of that rat race of competition and compete with only one person and one person only, yourself. You know, that sayings put out there a lot today. I'm becoming the best version of myself. All these YouTubers are saying it, aren't they? I'm becoming the best version of myself. Are you? Maybe you are. Become the best version of yourself, not the best version that keeping up with the Joneses want you to be. Be the best version of yourself for you daily and get out of the competition and realize that everything in this country, maybe in this world today, is a competition. Who has the most real estate? Who has the biggest house? Who has the greatest mansion? Who has the biggest swimming pool? Who has the prettiest girlfriend? Who has the handsomest boyfriend? Who's making the most money? Who has the most talent? After all, a lot of these things, folks, are just opinions, and everyone's got their own opinion. It is getting more and more competitive by the day. Who has the most Bitcoin? Who has owns the most stocks? Who's had the most successes with women? Who's the baddest man on the planet? Who's, if you're a lady, who's had the most guys? Or who has the biggest catch? Just reel out that fishing rod, right? Pull it in. After all, it doesn't matter what you think, it's what they think. But you want to get away from what they think. That's where the problem lies. You don't want to be in competition with anybody. If you're on a sports team, it goes with the territory. You have to compete. You can't just give up. There has to be some dog in you, some fight in you. With sports, that's probably the only place it should be competitive. America, I've lived in it my whole life. We used to be competitive with the world. We were number one. We are far from number one. I mean, we have the most money in the world, but who has it? Just the top 1%. And what they all view as the have-nots are the 99%. They don't have all the money. They're trying to get to the 1%, which has all the money. So, if you're telling me it's not a competition, I'm here to tell you it is. Who's had the best vacation? Who's taken the most vacations? Who's accomplished the most? Who's written the most books? Who's made the most videos? Who's number one on YouTube? You're starting to get the picture. Yeah, I'm sure you are. Just my advice, I didn't drop out. What I did was pull back when I realized I was being competitive. Yeah, I was. My roommate used to say to me when we were playing tennis, squash kind of, there was a there was a backboard in Greenwich Village. And we're hitting the ball, and he said, "What's this competitive shit?" Well, I secretly didn't like you. Maybe I was trying to beat your ass and make it look like fun. You can compete. I mean, but, if you compete, you gotta give me a prize, don't you? If you don't compete, that releases, it gives you a lot of freedom, releases a lot of stress. Competition is the American way. It always has been and probably always will be. It's been over 250 years of this crap. I don't think it was always like that at the beginning development of America. From 1776 on, when we had to fight for our freedom. Yeah, it got really competitive at the turn of the century, the year 1900. And it's gotten worse every year. You shouldn't compete with your friends. You shouldn't, all these shouldn'ts. It's not, don't compete with anyone but yourself. Because that's the person you look at in the mirror every morning when you wake up. And you say, "I'm there for you. You're doing good. I'm gonna compete with you today. We're gonna have fun." It's all a competition, my friends. You don't want to compete with the people playing the game. And it is a game, believe me. You just want to compete with yourself. I know. Be the best person you can be. The best version of yourself. So, with that said, hopefully I've made my point, come across with you, and just, if you're going to compete with anyone, compete with yourself. You'll thank yourself for it, and you'll get more done. And don't tell them about it. Bye-bye.